Hello and welcome. Let's move this down a little bit. There we go. Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan and we are back on the streams. It has been a hot minute since we last did a stream. I actually couldn't quite believe it. It's been like 3 weeks since we last did a stream. Quite some time. But we are back now. We are going to hopefully be doing some more streams. Today we're going to do a rating your team stream, I guess. And my God, guys. I put this out on Twitter asking you guys to send me in your drafts so we could rate them. And, well, here it is. We're at almost 1,000 replies. That is a few more than I was kind of expecting in this video, to be honest. A few more than I was expecting. So I've kind of had to change things last minute, I guess. We are going to be rating a few of those replies, but I thought, there's 1,000 people there pretty much. I want to kind of prioritize the people who are actually in the stream, watching them. We'll do a few from there, but I do want to pick some of your guys' as well, who are watching live, because, you're watching live, so it's a little bit more interactive, I suppose. So, we're going to put out a tweet in about, 20 minutes time, and we're going to be asking you guys to, those of you who are actually here, to put your teams in to have them rated, and hopefully we can get some live ones. Sorry for those of you guys who are not on Twitter. I know people are like, oh, can't you do this on Instagram? Can't you do this on WhatsApp and Snapchat and Bebo and MySpace? Look, I can't do it everywhere. Like, Twitter is easiest for me because I just use Twitter all the time, and it doesn't take long to set up a Twitter account. If you really want to have your team rated that much, how long does it take to set up a Twitter account? Like 2 minutes. So yeah, maybe you can, maybe if you haven't got a Twitter account and you wouldn't mind making one, if you really want to get involved in these videos, then go for it. But just because there were so many people involved, and look, it's gone over to over 1,000 now. Like, I'm going to do a few more of these because I do want to try and get through as many of you as possible, and it's just not possible. It is just not possible. So, yeah, Twitter only. Let's try and get through a few of them. But, guys, today, I'm not going to lie, I have already preloaded some of these drafts up on a tool for rating these teams, because whenever we've done these videos before, I've kind of found them a little bit boring in a way, because what ends up happening is you guys send me your teams and I basically turn your teams into my teams, which is boring. And no, that doesn't help anyone really. Everyone just ends up with the same team. So today we are going to be using Fantasy Football Hub's team rating AI tool to try and get a better idea of how many points these teams will get. Obviously, I don't know, some of you guys might know already, but Fantasy Football Hub has very kindly offered to partner up with my channel this season, and we have full access to all of their tools. We can use all of them on their website, show them off, and use them to our own benefit, I suppose, and yeah, bypass that, I guess. So that's going to be a bit of fun, I think, this season, because they really are the best in the business. I use all their tools anyway, but it's always been a little bit, can I use them in videos? Can I use them in streams? They're not really mine to be using and showing off. So yeah, but it's fine. We got full reign of the Fantasy Football Hub stuff. So guys, I have put a link in the description if you do want to go check out Fantasy Football Hub and some of their premium tools. Obviously, I've got all the premium tools that I'm going to be showing you in the videos. Then do go check that out. This tool that I'm going to show you today is indeed on that website. So guys, without further ado, let's have a look at the first team. So I'll introduce you to this tool as well. Like I say, it just makes things so much easier for these rating teams, because I can change things in your team live during the streams and in the videos or whatever. It has an objective team rating on it rather than me just predicting how well the team will do. It's just, I think it just helps. I just think it helps a little bit. But yeah, we're going to go through some teams I've already preloaded. I've preloaded about, I think, 6 or 7 in here. We'll do a few more of those of you who are in the chat. I'm so sorry if I can't get through all of you. There is obviously a lot of people to go through. Like, I never expected this many people to want their team rated, but we move. But here we go, guys. This is the first team, and you can see at the top, if I scroll up a little bit, it's giving it a team rating of 86%. This team I picked out because I thought it was kind of interesting, because it has 1 million in the bank. So this team, like, I can actually have a little play with this team. And if I just go to my likes on my on my Twitter page. We can see who it is. So this one is from FPL Jake. So there we go, FPL Jake. This is your team loaded up. People saying the link doesn't work. Where does this link just not send you anywhere? Maybe I can fix that. Where does it go to? If it's not working, I'll try and fix it. Someone's saying how do you screenshot on a Samsung? I have no idea. I have an iPhone, so I can't really help you there. But maybe someone else can help how to screenshot on a Samsung. Let's just check out this link. I think it should work. Yeah, when I click the link, yeah, it should send you to the landing page on Fantasy Football Hub. You can access this page from there. This is a premium tool, so you do have to pay to get to this tool. So yeah, if you follow the link and then follow it through to well, basically you've got to pay to get in. But look, we're gonna be trying to help you guys, give you free access in the videos. But obviously, if you want to use it yourself, you are gonna have to sign up and get and make an account for Fantasy Football Hub. So there we go. Right, here we go. So this is the first team, and it's pretty good. You know, like you can see here, this is already good. And guys, I want you guys in the chat as well to get involved. Tell me what you think of these teams. Here is the first one. Like I said, it's from FPL Jake. We can see he's got Raya in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, James, and Trippier in defence. There is nothing wrong with that back line whatsoever. I actually really like that back line. Moving into midfield, we've got Rashford, De Bruyne, Maddison, Martinelli, Luis Diaz. Pretty nice, not bad. We've got Kane up front, and then a very, very cheap bench of Nico Williams. Who is this one? It's Taylor, Lyle Taylor, and then Archer on the bench as well. Those of you guys in the chat saying the link is working fine, which is very good to hear. Top of the description, of course. And yeah, here we go. So the first thing that stands out to me immediately, and you guys are already saying this in the chat, there's no Salah. But this team has 1 million in the bank and doesn't have 3 Liverpool players. So this team, it is so easy. Like, this is what I would do with this team immediately. And I know people are going to say, oh, it's boring, everyone's going for Salah. But, you know, everyone's going for Salah for a very good reason. So the first thing I would do is I would remove De Bruyne, put in Salah. We've got the exact money to make that move because there's 1 million in the bank anyway. You know, we've upgraded De Bruyne to Salah, and now we've got Salah. I mean, amazing. Already you can see the team rating has jumped up to 89%. So these team ratings, by the way, they're all done by artificial intelligence, predictions based on statistics and stuff like that. All very clever, brainy stuff. That is a little bit too brainy for me, but we move. But yeah, you can see immediately by putting Salah in there instead of De Bruyne, we've improved the team rating already. It was so easy to do that. So really simple move for that person there, FPL Jake. Other questionable players, I guess, are players maybe Maddison. A few people have some concerns about him. I mean, if we look at his fixtures, he's got Brentford, not an easy fixture. Then Arsenal, then Southampton. That's not a bad fixture. But then Chelsea, Man United, even Brighton away and Aston Villa. They're not like easy fixtures. Like these fixtures are not great, with the exception of Southampton at home. It kind of seems a little bit strange to go for like Leicester players. Like I feel like if we go to 8 million midfielders, right? Surely we take our here we go. We take it down to 8 million. Look through some of these players, and surely we can do a little bit better. I mean, we've got Saka in there. We've got Mason Mount. I would say that if we sort by 4 game week predictions, you can see how Fantasy Football Hub rates this. So they put Foden at the top. Yeah, maybe I worry a bit about Foden's minutes, but we'll see, I guess. But, you know, we've got players like Mason Mount here, all ranking well above Maddison, who's actually on the second page here. So again, we can improve this immediately by getting rid of a player like Maddison, removing him, and replacing him with pretty much anyone we want. Pretty much anyone. Just go for a different 8 million midfielder. You know, Saka would probably be my choice, but I also don't mind Barnes. I'm kind of conscious that this team does already have Martinelli. Do you want to double up on the attack there? I mean, we could potentially move. I know this is super template. This is really, really super template. But we could actually move Maddison down to Andreas and then switch Lyle Taylor out for Jesus, or Jesus, should I say, then make that swappity swap, and suddenly, you know, that looks a bit better to me. I mean, that is basically, in fact, that's pretty much my team. Like, don't get me wrong, that is pretty much my team. But, did you see, like, 3 changes I made to this team? We've got a team rating of 88 now, so it's actually gone down slightly by bringing in Jesus. But I feel like this is a better team than what we started with. So there we go, FPL Jake. That is probably what I would do to this team. We've improved the team rating. Yes, it's not 100%. Maybe we can try and get some other teams closer to 100% team rating. But it's, yeah, that's not bad. That's a much better team. I'm sure you guys will agree. So there we go. We're not just rating teams, we're fixing teams. Maybe I should be changing the names of these streams to fixing your teams rather than rating your teams. But there we go. A little bit better. A little bit better. All right, guys, let's move on to the next team. This team is from FPL EZ. So, don't know if you're in the chat or not. FPL EZ. We've got an 87% rating already on this team. Like, that is pretty good. You would say that's a pretty good start. Don't worry, I've picked out some stinkers for later on. Wait, just wait. You're going to see some real stinky teams. So yeah, this team is like quite differential, and I don't mind that. There's some players which I don't fully understand. For example, you know, we've got Gabriel here. I know there's been a bit of, I think Andy Let's Talk FPL had Gabriel in his draft, didn't he? Which is kind of, you know, maybe built a little bit of hype there, but I do prefer at the same price Kieran Trippier, and I think the algorithm is going to agree with me. Let's have a look. So this is the first thing I do. Gabriel out. In terms of 5 million defenders, my favourites are Trippier and Cash. So I would probably go for Trippier in there. Yeah, and immediately we've gone from 87% to 89%. So we've improved the team very easily with 1 transfer there. The only other thing I don't really like in this team, I guess, is Solanke. But I would say this is a pretty strong team. If I was to be super picky, super fussy, maybe I could change it a little bit more. You know, maybe we can switch Chilwell to Reece James if you think that's a little bit safer. Maybe we could switch Sterling out to an 8 million rather than a 10 million and then use that money to upgrade Solanke. We could do that. But actually, I don't really want to butcher this team too much because I think it was pretty close. I think it was pretty close already. I don't want to just turn every team into the same team, you know. This is it's interesting. It's got that little bit of spice with Sterling and Solanke. It's got, obviously, Dallo in there, who's done pretty well in pre-season so far. That's not bad. So if I just scroll up a little bit, maybe I need to zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit easier. Is that a bit better, or is that slightly too small? Let's just zoom in one more. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it, guys? You can see the team rating at the top now. So yeah, we're up to 89%. I think we'll leave it there. So, well done. FPL Easy, you've had your team rated. Let's go to Callum at Shepsy next. Let's see what he's got here. So, this is his team. Now, this team I picked out because I quite like it. I actually quite like it. But it is only 85% rated. So, I'm wondering if we could do a little bit more. Just a little bit more to kind of fix it. Well, the first thing I do is, because Laporte is obviously injured at the moment, or, you know, he's missed games. We don't know if he's going to be ready for the start of the season, or at least not fully ready for the start of the season. I'm going to switch Laporte to Diaz. Like, it's a pretty like-for-like switch. Pretty easy to do. You're not going to get any team rating improvements there, but Diaz, easy move. Easy move. You guys agree in the chat, by the way, that we are improving teams. I'm glad we're improving teams because that's what this is all about, fixing the teams. I don't know why I said rating. We are rating them, but then we're going that one step further and we're actually improving them. This is what you get. This is what you get on the FPL Mate channel. Aside from that, I actually pretty much like this team. The only thing that's kind of missing is that third Liverpool player. The easiest way of getting that third Liverpool player in would be to switch Mount out for Diaz, but I do know we're gonna the 2 improvements are to bring in 2 Diazes. That's not actually improved the team rating at all, but I do think that is a good team. Like, I know it's only 85%, but that's not too bad. When you see some of the other teams, you'll see that's not too bad. Bailey is probably bringing the rating down a little bit because Bailey, obviously, there's not much statistic to back up that he'll be good, but we've seen in pre-season that Bailey is doing very well. So I think Bailey is probably bringing this team rating down a little bit, but aside from that, like I said, going into this, I really like the team. So just switching Laporte to Diaz and Mount to another Diaz, I think does improve this team. So there you go, Shepsy. There is your lovely improved team. Let's move on to our man Joe. So this is our man Joe's team. Kind of picked this out for a 5 at the back formation, and it is a little bit different for a couple of reasons. So yeah, this is what their team is like at the moment. It's a 76% rated. And that's like, I know that sounds high, but when I was looking through all the replies to the tweet, everyone's team was pretty much identical. There was probably a pool of about 25 to 30 players that everyone was using. Everyone was using the same, you know, in their 15-man squads, everyone was using the same pool of 25 to 30 players, which is just ridiculous. Ridiculously small pool of players, which is a shame. But this one is a little bit different for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. Obviously, we've got players like Nico Williams and Vestergaard, both 4 million players, you know, starting. And then we've got Gordon and Ben Rama on the bench. We've got players like Jimenez, who is actually predicted reasonably high on the team rating tool, but I don't actually think he'll live up to those kind of points, if I'm completely honest. This team is just, there is some problems. Like, the first thing that irks me is the expectation that Vestergaard's going to play. You can see on the team rating thing, it says, like, how many predicted points they're going to get in each game week, and Vestergaard has a 0 in every game week, and, like, that is fully accurate in my opinion. I think if Vestergaard somehow manages to stay at Leicester, he is not going to play any minutes. So Vestergaard is an absolute no-go for me. Obviously, this team already has one 4 million player in Nico Williams. I wonder if we can actually get another one in, but for the sake of not breaking the structure too much and just staying with the teams, if I was to go for another 4 million defender, it would be Patterson at Everton, who is expected to start the season at right back. So we're going to put Patterson in there, but again, we're not going to want to bench him. You know, we've got players here like Gordon and Ben Rama. Players of these kind of prices, you should not ever be benching. If you're finding yourself in a situation where you're benching these players, it's probably because you've got too much money on the bench. So we're going to put them on, and we're going to change them because, if I'm totally honest, they're not particularly amazing picks. Now, Gordon, I don't mind, but Ben Rama, are we really, like West Ham fans, are we really thinking Ben Rama's going to start? You know, he was being spoken about being sold not so long ago. And we've also got the Jimenez issue that I do think we do need to address as well. Perisic, I'm a little bit worried about, just because, is he going to be fully fit and ready to go at the start of the season? I don't know. I'm not fully convinced. Sat in goal, I don't mind. Jose Sat in goal, I've not seen many people go for him, and I actually don't mind that at all, to be fair. So I'm going to leave him in there. Ben Rama, I think, has to go. What is he, 6 million, 6.5? 6 million. You know, I just feel like we can do a bit better for 6 million. Like, the perfect 6 million midfielder is probably Martinelli, or if you can push to 6.5, maybe a Rashford. But let's put Martinelli in. So let's switch this up. You can already see that the team rating is up to 79%. We've just got it to 80 with that next transfer. Jimenez, I think we can do a little bit better. I don't mind Neto, but Jimenez seems a little bit suspect. Tony, is Tony the same price as Jimenez? Yes, he is. So let's just switch you out for maybe a Tony. We're still at 80%. That is an improved team, I think. I think this is an improved team. It's not perfect. Like Perisic, I'm still not fully convinced by. Maybe we can switch Perisic to a Trips, maybe. What do you reckon, guys? Maybe do this switch. Maybe I'm going overkill here. In fact, let's mix things up. Let's go for Matty Cash, just for a bit of fun, I suppose. So let's. Oh no, that's brought the team rating right down. All right, fine. Let's go. Let's try Trippier in there. Let's see what that does to the team rating. 79%. That's pretty good, to be fair. Very pretty good. And yeah, I do think even leaving, I mean, we've got 2.5 million in the bank. We can still do something. I mean, we can go for, in fact, we can take Tony. Like, I've just completely changed this person's team now. It's like nothing like what it started. We can now upgrade Martinelli to like a, oh no, we can upgrade Neto. We can actually upgrade Neto to a 7 million. So we can go for like Rashford here. This team is nothing like what it started with. Don't get me wrong. But Well, that to me is a little bit better. That to me is a little bit better. A lot bit better. It has got triple Arsenal attack though. So maybe if we just switch Saka to Luis Diaz, we're on 80%. There we go. Improved. It's much better. Happy with that. Okay, there you go. Who was that? Our man Joe. There is your team rated and fixed. It's a little bit better. Right, next person. We've got 3 more, and then we'll put a tweet out. This one's FPL Rover, which is interesting. It's 87% rated, but it's 3 at the back. Like, you don't see many 3 at the backs this season. It's got players like double Manchester United midfield, Sancho and Rashford. It's got Mitrovic up front. It's got Lewis Dunk on the bench, which I don't mind. I think Mitrovic at the beginning of the season has to kind of go. I mean, Liverpool, Wolves away, Brentford, Arsenal, Brighton, Tottenham and Chelsea. Like, even if you think fixtures like Wolves and Brentford and Brighton are easy fixtures, like, they're not really. If you're an attacker, those are not great fixtures. If you've got a defender, then Wolves, Brentford and Brighton might be actually okay fixtures. But this is not a defender. This is an attacker. And you can see by these ratings on the website that all of these are rated pretty low. So, can we do better for 6.5 million? That's what Mitrovic is, 6.5 million. Can we do a little bit better there? Potentially. Can we get him to a 7 million? Can we get him to like a Tony? Like I've kind of spoken already. Tony is not a bad forward to go to. If we can get Mitrovic to a Tony, and maybe downgrade. Well, maybe put Nico Williams first sub and downgrade Dunk to a Patterson, I suppose, would be my second favourite 4 million defender. We're up to an 89% ranked team. That's like pretty good. That's much better. So yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. There's other things you could do to this team. Maybe you could get rid of one of the Manchester United attackers. Maybe take Sancho to an 8 million. I would personally like to have Salah in my team, but there is still some, look, if I'm going to go without Salah, and me personally, I'm never going to go without Salah, Son and Kane, they're not exactly bad they're not exactly bad picks, are they? So, this person does have the option to jump to Salah if things go wrong. Son to Salah, they would have to downgrade someone in order to do that. Maybe diversify the defence a little bit, take you to Trippier, just so we're not on double. We've still got Edison in there. Like, could we go for Salah in here? Yeah, you would have to take out Son if you wanted Salah, wouldn't you? And find a million from somewhere. Maybe downgrade Edison. That could potentially work. But this isn't a bad team. Like, this is not a bad team. We're on 91%. It's pretty decent. Like, Sancho and Rashford looking okay in pre-season. Looks like at least they're going to start, which is a great thing. Rashford at 6.5 is definitely not something we want to overlook. Like, the Manchester United players, in fairness, are really, really well priced. Really well priced. So there we go. That's okay. Like, it's not completely conventional, but it's okay. Giandre says that's not a blackcurrant squash. I've got a blackcurrant squash as well. We've got the blackcurrant squash as well. Those of you guys asking in the chat, if you want to use this tool, it is a Fantasy Football Hub members tool. So you will have to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. There's a link to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub in the top of my description. So you can sign up that way and check this tool and all of the other tools out yourself. But yeah, this is for members only. This is members only. Savio De Souza says, this isn't rate my team, it's templateise my team. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're completely right. Like, that's pretty much how FPL works. But yeah, I think that's okay. And there is a little bit of difference in there. We've got the FPL Routines team next. I think I've got that right. And this one, again, I'm sure you guys are probably going to agree that there are some questions. There's some questions to be asked here. Koulibaly, obviously, how much is he coming in? 5.5, isn't he? Yeah. Like, just to take Koulibaly to a Reece James is going to make such a difference. There is some interesting picks like Havertz and Vardy. I don't hate them. Like, I don't completely hate them. The double Leicester attack does not sit too well with me, if I'm completely honest. So I would probably downgrade Maddison, if I'm honest. Like, Alisson is blocking you from other Liverpool players as well, so I downgrade Alisson. In fact, let's do that first. So first thing I do, let's get rid of Alisson, and let's just put in a nice template goalkeeper. A nice template goalkeeper there. We've got now 1 million to play with. We could take Maddison to Diaz. Yes, we are making this team pretty template. We could switch. We've still got 1 million in the bank. We can switch Bailey to Martinelli maybe, or a Neto. We've got Zaha here as well. I wonder if we can just upgrade Zaha instead. Like, a kind of a risky pick at the start of the season. Not great fixtures initially. Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and then Man City. Can we actually wait a little bit before going for a Zaha? Probably. And remember, guys, we've got these players on the bench, which we'll come to in a second. And we can, but we'll get there. So if we take Zaha to a... we can go to Saka, can't we, here? That's quite a nice little move. We've got Mings and Guehi. Like, do we need them? Do we need them? Like, Guehi immediately, I'm just going to take to Williams. Like, it makes so much sense. I think Nico Williams, even though he's 4 million, will actually outscore Mark Guehi. So, yeah, that's a pretty easy move to be making there. Mings, I'm not really feeling that one. I'm just not really feeling that one. Can we downgrade him or can we upgrade him? We've got 0.5 in the bank. Can we take him to a Trippier? Maybe, like, big fan of Trippier. Get in Trips. And then maybe take Bailey to the bench and have Bailey as kind of a bench option, I guess. It's okay. Maybe we just downgrade him completely. Downgrade Bailey completely. Like, we are really changing this team quite a lot. Count Celo says double Arsenal attack again. Think it's a bit much. It could be, but I don't want to ruin the premise of this team. And the premise of this team is to be a little bit risky. By looking at Havertz and Vardy, there's a little bit of risk there attached, isn't there? So if we now downgrade Bailey, let's put in De Silva. He's probably my second favourite 4.5 midfielder. And we've got 0.5 to upgrade Koulibaly up to Reece James. Bada bing, bada boom. 82%. That team, to me, it's nothing like what it started with, but it still does have Vardy and Havertz. And those were the big ones, really, weren't they? Those were like the kind of the cutting edge to the team, that Havertz and Vardy combo up front. But yeah, I would say that is significantly improved. Right, one more team, guys, and then we'll do half an hour, 20 minutes of you guys' team, sending them in. In fact, guys, I'm going to put a tweet up now. It's going to say something that, unless you're watching this stream, you will not know what this stream means. This tweet means. Let's just put in like a random GIF. Let's find blackcurrant squash. If we can find blackcurrant squash, squash. We can't find any squash. Why is there no squash GIFs? All right, they're cordial. Is that how you spell cordial? Right, what the hell is going on? Right, what? All right, let's just do a picture of Neil Maupay. All right, guys, reply to this tweet of Neil Maupay with a screenshot of your team. Only you guys watching this stream right now will understand what this tweet means. So I know that only people watching can get involved. So there we go. Reply to this tweet on Twitter at FPL Mate with a screenshot of your team. There we go. Few super chats in the super chat. Logan Madden says, sent you my team on the replies on Twitter at LoopyLogan03. I mean, thank you so much for the super chat. But can I favour people who are sending me money? Oh, it seems a little bit suspect. But yeah, reply to the new tweet. Reply to the new tweet. And we'll have a look for your team. Anurag says, roast this team. All right, Anurag, like, send it to me. Send it to me over on Twitter, and I will keep an eye out for it because it's much easier when we've got kind of a visual aid on screen. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think Mrs. FPL Mate might be paying a visit to the stream as well. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Okay, guys, let's have a look at some of your... Oh my... What the hell? 150? 170? Oh my... This is incredible. Okay, fine. I thought this would kind of narrow the pool a little bit, but apparently not. All right, Matthew James. I'm not going to use the hub tool for any more. I don't think, but we'll just do this final one while I'm waiting for some more replies to come in. Because I did say I was going to rate one more team that I already had loaded up on Hub. So yeah, Melier, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, James, Neto, Salah, Luis Diaz, Rashford, Martinelli, Kane, Jesus. This, to me, is pretty close to the perfect team that doesn't have 4 at the back. Like, I've seen a lot of 4 at the back ones. Out of the 4 at the back teams, teams that aren't 4 at the back formation, like, I feel like this is probably the best one I've seen. It's got an 87% rating on Fantasy Football Hub, which is pretty mad. It's nice. It's actually really nice. What would I change about it? Honestly, not much. Genuinely not much. I would be tempted to maybe... I'm not 100% sure on Neto. I quite like it, but I'm not 100% on it. But I like everything. I like everything about this. This is a great team. There's not that much diversity in the price points in midfield. There's not an easy way to get into the defense. Like, if I had to change something, I guess I would switch out Neto for Pereira. Andreas Pereira, that is. Switch out the formation and upgrade Patterson to... I'm going to put Trips in again. I'm going to, like, for the meme, for the banter... I'm going to put Trips in. So there we go. That is, I know I said I liked it for a 3 at the back formation, but isn't it funny that you just change it to a 4 at the back formation and the team just looks better? Like, 4 at the back is just the way to go. It's just the way to go at the moment, which is pretty crazy. How many replies are we at on this tweet of mine? We are going to refresh it. Don't worry. I'll try and get as many of you guys in as possible. We're at 300. You guys are absolutely crazy. But yeah, before we go on the hub, because I'm not going to use the hub tool for any of the others, because I want to try and whiz through as many as I can. Yeah, go check this out. Honestly, this is a genuinely really good team. It's helped me out with my team. You can, like, I didn't even show you this bit. Like, you can change the game week and kind of see how your team looks in each game week. For example, this team that I kind of fixed just now. In Game Week 4, it has a 96% rating. So in Game Week 4, this team should, in theory, absolutely bang. So it helps you plan for the future. You can make transfers as well for each game week and plan what transfer move you would make each game week. You can obviously search for all of their players. Everything gets a rating. Everything gets a points prediction. You can sort by, like, points predictions over the next 4 game weeks. So you can use the AI to pick players for you. Really useful in tiebreaker situations. It's really good. And there's loads of other Fantasy Football Hub tools in there that I use for all of my videos. Like, you guys asked me, where do I get my stats from? Where do I get my, like, underlying stats, expected goals, you know, key passes, shots in the box, all of those stats? Where do I get them from? It's all on Fantasy Football Hub. I use this so much. I'm so privileged, really, to be partnering up with them this season and kind of using their tools in videos, because they basically make my videos at this point. Like, they're crazy good. Like, there's just all kinds of stuff on here. So yeah, link in my description if you want to go check that out. Let's rate some more teams. Super chat from Escape Artist says, what's your opinion about picking Bailey over Bowen? I mean, they're pretty different prices. Well, there's like 3.5 million difference in price, right? I like Bailey, but I also like Bowen. So both are good. Both are good. Right, let's go on for like half an hour more. We got almost 400 replies. We're going to have to do a few of these streams, aren't we, to get through everyone's team. All right, we've got Peter at the top. We've got Sanchez, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Robertson, James, Botman. Botman's an interesting one. Was he 4.5 million? Expected to start, to be fair, so you could get some clean sheets from Botman. A little bit of aerial threat there as well. Luis Diaz, Son and Neto, and then Jesus and Haaland up front. On the bench, we've got Vissa. Not fully convinced by that one. I feel like maybe you could downgrade Vissa, and I mean, you can't, to be fair, it's difficult. When you've got 5 at the back, it's really hard to get a strong bench. I do like Alexander-Arnold and Robertson combo a lot. In general, this team is good. It is good. Wissa is probably the one player I'm not fully convinced by. And, you know, maybe we could downgrade Wissa and upgrade Son to Salah. But this is not the worst team. Actually, we'd have to change one more thing, wouldn't we? Okay, Luis Diaz to Mason Mount, maybe? Maybe you could downgrade. Maybe you could downgrade him to a... Maybe you could downgrade Luis Diaz to a Rashford in order to upgrade Son to a Salah or something like that. Haaland, like, I'm always going to say Kane over Haaland. Like, I prefer Kane as an FPL pick, but I'm not going to shut down people who prefer Haaland, to be honest, because I think he's a good pick as well. So, yeah, not going to complain about that one. AFC Teta sent me his team here. This is, can you guys see this okay? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Mendy, it's okay. This looks a little bit dark. Does it look dark to you? Mendy, yeah, fine. Alexander-Arnold, Chilwell, Robertson, Perisic. Perisic, slight risk at the beginning of the season, I think, at this point, but he could come good. In general, I like this team. Yeah, we got 0.5 on the bench in Tomiyasu, 4.5 million defender. Like, I like this team. This is like a solid 8 out of 10 team. I like it. Well done, Teta. It's a decent one, mate. It's a decent one. FPL Dean, what you got for me? Raya, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Chilwell, Robertson, Salah, Bailey, Neto, Sancho, Kane, and Jesus. The one thing I don't like about this team, and I like Dallo on the bench, by the way. I don't mind him as a 4.5. I don't mind him as a 4.5. But the one thing I don't like about this is Bailey and Neto combo. FPL Phillips says Perisic got his first minutes today. That's good. That is good. But is it too little, too late? Don't know. Aki says, why is your link... I didn't even mention. If you use the link in my description, you should get 50% off your Fantasy Football Hub membership, which you should do. Try again. You should get 50% off your membership. I probably should have mentioned that if you use the link, you literally get the service for half price, but we move. Anyway. Yeah, the one thing I don't like, the Bailey and Neto thing, you've got 2 players at a very unflexible price point, which is going to be difficult if you have to move these players on or if these players don't work out. Like, we know Bailey and Neto are risky players. So typically you're probably only going to want to go for one of Bailey or Neto. I don't know how you're going to try and afford to get the other guy. I mean, maybe if you go Sancho down to Rashford, which could be fine, to be fair. Sancho down to Rashford could actually be decent. It frees up $1 million, and then suddenly you've got a little bit of spare money to upgrade one of Bailey or Neto. You can take Neto to a 6.5, or you can take Bailey to a 6. Maybe you can take Bailey to a Martinelli. I know people are going to say double Arsenal attack, but at the end of the day, and a big thing I genuinely feel about FPL is people focus so much on, oh, I don't want double attack on this team. I don't want a double a defense on this team. Oh, I haven't got a defender from this team. I really need to make sure I've got a defender from this team. I don't know if that is actually a good way of thinking about FPL. My way of thinking about FPL a lot of the time is and this sounds so stupidly simple, but who is going to get the most points? If I have no Man City defender in my team, does that really matter if the players I've got instead of my Man City defender I think are going to outscore Man City defenders? Does that make sense? So I can go for like Diaz, or I can go for Reece James. If I go for Reece James, I will have no Man City defence. And people will say, how can you have a team without no Man City defence? But if I think Reece James is going to outscore Man City's defenders, Diaz for example, then why wouldn't I go for Reece James? Like, that just makes perfect sense. You don't need to cover teams necessarily. Sometimes you just need to cover points. And if you can cover points by going elsewhere, then there's nothing wrong with that. And it works both ways. If you think Martinelli is going to be the highest scoring 6 million midfielder, don't avoid Martinelli just because you already have Gabriel Jesus. There's no need to do that. Like, don't go for a 6 million midfielder that you don't actually want in your team. You don't actually think is going to score very well just because you're scared of doubling up on teams. Just pick the players you think will score the most points. It sounds so simple, but I think sometimes we do overcomplicate things in FPL. Sometimes you just got to pick the players who get the most points. But yeah, that's the one criticism I have on this team, Dean. Bailey and Neto, it's a difficult one to have both of those because it's not very flexible. If one goes wrong, you pretty much have nowhere to go. If Neto goes wrong, you can move to Bailey if you don't already have Bailey. If Bailey goes wrong, you can move to a Neto if you don't already have Neto. Do you get what I'm kind of saying? But if you have both already, you're kind of a little bit mudded. The Chelsea lad. The Chelsea lad is in town. Has he got any Chelsea players? Yes, he's got one. This team I kind of like. So we've got Raya, Alexander-Arnold, Laporte, James, Tomiyasu, Trippier, Salah, Luis Diaz, Bowen, Kane. You know what? I like this team. I kind of like this team. I would probably not go for Lyle Taylor. I think Lyle Taylor is primed to absolutely plummet in price. So I don't think we're going to go for. I don't think it's really worth going for him. But aside from that, yeah, I would probably do Taylor to I don't know, another 4.5 because if he's sold on mass, he's going to plummet in price, isn't he? It's not a great bench, is it? Yeah, but we got De Silva and Andreas. Andreas isn't a bad. This is the one thing about 5 at the back. 5 at the back is really, really. It does limit you in terms of your bench because we've got Nico Williams, who's like the perfect bench option, and you can only really have Nico Williams if you've got a 4 at the back formation or maybe a 3 at the back formation. So yeah. Oh, Laporte is injured for the start of the season. Yeah, there's that point as well. Yeah. Kempser says Delap. Yeah, Delap could be okay as long as he gets a transfer move, you know. Right, FPL Luke Armitage 433. Again, another 5 at the back. So I'm guessing the bench is struggling. It is a little bit, yeah. Bailey, Greenwood, Taylor. I would just take Bailey back to Andreas Pereira, to be honest. Greenwood and Taylor, those are like they're 4.4 million forwards within 2 weeks, and you're going to lose a little bit of money on those players. I think you're going to lose a little bit of money. FPL Phillips says controversial opinion, but De Silva is better than Nico Williams. Really? Like De Silva is like he's I don't know if he's nailed. Like he was nailed in the championship, but at the end of last season he was available and actually was on the bench a lot of the time. It kind of seemed like Brentford have learnt to live without De Silva. Like don't get me wrong, I like De Silva and I hope he can get back into the Brentford team, but he is a little bit risky. And Nico Williams is not risky, but I guess maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, this team, yeah, the bench is tragic. But aside from the bench, it's a good team. It's a good team. Maybe we can, I would just take Bailey down to Pereira. I would maybe take Tomiyasu down to, in fact, no, I'd probably take Tomiyasu down to Nico Williams because I do genuinely feel like Nico Williams could outscore a lot of the 4.5s. I think Nico Williams could easily outscore Tomiyasu, for example. And if you did that, then you free up a little bit of cash to make some different moves. You can start Bailey, for example, move to a 4-5-1 formation, and that would be pretty nice. I think that would be pretty nice. Of course, there's Lewis Potter equals Bowen 2.0, 5.5. Remember I said it. Yeah, Keen Lewis Potter does look like a nice little player, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to jump in on Keen Lewis Potter too quickly, but he could be pretty good. Char Wallace says, "What percent is your team on the Fantasy Football Hub tool?" Should we do that last? Let's do that last. No, I do like Keen Lewis Potter, but I'm not quite ready. All right, we've got a Darwin draft from Wally. Wally has got Edison in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Laporte, Chilwell, James. So he's got double City defence and double Chelsea defence. He's actually got triple Chelsea. Are you a Chelsea fan by any chance here? Basically, it's double City, triple Liverpool, triple Chelsea, double Arsenal, and just Neto, just chilling. Just chilling. Dallo will start. Yeah, we think Dallo's going to start. We think Dallo's going to do quite well. Quite well. This team isn't, to be fair, it's not bad. This is not bad. I kind of like this. The one risk, obviously, is Darwin. But I'm not against taking risks in FPL. Like, if Darwin Nunez is not a player I would personally take a punt on. I do think he's going to take just a few games to get bedded into the Premier League. He's not going to be like, surely he's not going to come out the blocks firing. I don't know. But yeah. Count Seelor says 1 clean sheet away from a meltdown. Yeah, I mean, like if City concede a goal or Chelsea concede a goal, then it's pretty much mudded. But like, I don't think you should pay too much attention to that. I think if you think these players are going to score well, and looking at these players, they should score well. Laporte, like we kind of have discussed in this video already, maybe worth switching to a Diaz at this point. A little bit safer for the start of the season. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's not bad. It's not bad for a Darwin Nunez draft, Wally. I kind of like it. Kasim with the 8 million madness. Wow, there's a lot of 8 million players in here. How many is that? Mount, Diaz, Saka, and Jesus, all 8 million players. That is not too many price points. I feel like you don't need 3 8 million midfielders. Do you? 2 is fine. Is 3? I don't know. We've got a very cheap bench, but we've got Nico Williams and Andreas on the bench there, which I kind of like. I think those 2 players actually can cover your bench. I don't think you need to spend money on your bench if you've got players like Nico Williams and Andreas Pereira. I kind of like that. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with this team. I know it's quadruple 8 million players, but I kind of like it. He's only got one premium player in Salah. But if your plan is to just captain Salah every week, why not? Why not? It's missing, it's missing Kane. It's missing Kane, but I don't hate it. I think this is a solid 7 or 8 out of 10 team. I like it. All right, we've got Stones FPL, aka Simon. I think I saw you in the chat, Simon. Yes, there you are, Simon Baller5. Pope in goal. First time I've seen Pope in goal. Thank you. Pope is a great goalkeeper pick. Like, and no one's going for him. If I'm going for a 5 million goalkeeper, no cap, I'm going for Pope. We've got Alexander-Arnold, James, Chilwell, and... Well, I mean, you are called Stones FPL. I would not let... that is your username on Twitter. I would not let that cloud your judgment. And it seems like your username... maybe agendas has clouded your judgment. Coutinho, I've spoken about, I don't really like as a pick. To be honest, I think he's so... a great football player, but he's so inconsistent in FPL. Like, he will blank over and over and over and over and over again and then just bang one game week. Maybe Bournemouth away is the game he does bang, but, like, I'm not fully convinced by that. Like, thereafter, like, in a couple of game weeks... we'll get the fixtures up somewhere. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the fixture list. I should have just stayed on the Fantasy Football Hub tool, to be honest. That has all the fixtures. Yeah, let's just go back on here. So, if we find this random player from Aston Villa, Archer, like, Bournemouth, great. But after that, Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Arsenal, Man City, Leicester. Like... are you bringing in Coutinho for 1 game week? Like, I don't like, maybe you're one of the people who say, okay, I'm gonna start with this player and I'm gonna transfer them to this player in game week 2, and then I'm gonna transfer this player to this player in game week 3, and then this player for this player in game week 4. Like, I've said this before in this channel, you won't. Like, everyone thinks, oh, I've come up with this perfect line of transfer. I'm gonna move this player to this player, this player to this player, and people say, I'm gonna do it, and then a player that they have that they thought was good turns out to be terrible, and they're forced to move that player on that they didn't expect to move on. Then another player emerges, a new striker in the league, suddenly does amazing. No one saw it coming, and then they kind of find suddenly they have to buy that player in, and these things just have this this knock-on effect whereby nobody really fully knows what's going to happen at the beginning of the season. You do need to free up your transfers basically to be pretty reactive. Planning transfers doesn't really work at the beginning of the season. You're just going to have to be reactive with it. And yeah, you've kind of already booked in a transfer by going for Coutinho. He's not for me. He's not for me. Other than that, you know, other than Coutinho and Stones, like, I do like this team. It's not more than a 7 out of 10 though, really. Like, you can't call a team with Stones and Coutinho in more than a 7 out of 10. It's like a 6 or 7 out of 10, I think. Sorry, Stonesy. Right, Mayor Mickey, who has got the Nigeria the Nigeria flag in his username. We've got the Nigeria jersey behind me. No, I haven't. I think it's in the wash. I was gonna represent, but apparently not. Okay, we've got Ramsdale. Ramsdale, like, I don't know how I feel about Ramsdale. Like, a few people kind of like the idea of Ramsdale. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. This triple Arsenal as well. We've got Martinelli and Jesus up there. We've got James, Cancelo, Alexander-Arnold, Perisic, Zinchenko. It's quad Arsenal. Because it's a quad Arsenal. That is unbelievable. You really want quad Arsenal? Are you an Arsenal fan, Mickey? You an Arsenal fan? I think you must be. Okay. It's not a bad team. It's like it's probably like 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like, I kind of like it. There's a few risks. Perisic and Zinchenko could go nuclear. Could go absolutely nuclear, but they could also kind of flop. Jeremy and Jandre in the chat says, Morgan, my wife, picked Ramsdale. Yes, she did. She did. She did pick Ramsdale. Maybe that is influencing it. Maybe Mrs. FPL Mate is the true goat of the FPL community. She knows what she's doing. I wonder where she is actually. Is she still at the pub? I came home early from the pub. This is why I've still got my recorder link. But I think she's still there. Okay, let's do one more team and then we'll have a look at mine. In fact, I'm going to do a refresh and whoever happens to be on top when I refresh will be them. And it's Councilor! Well, I mean, it's almost scripted. It's almost written in the stars that our resident moderator would be the person at the top. But obviously, guys, you saw that. Obviously, there was no way of me cheating that system. You saw. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Mendy, Botman. That's the second time I've seen Botman. Interesting. Walker, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko. It's not bad. You're in big trouble when Cucurella signs for Man City and Walker is mudded. Botman is interesting. I would like to have Trippier. I would just like to upgrade Botman. I just think that 0.5 million up from Botman to Trippier is just that little bit better. Like, enough better that it's more than worth the 0.5. I think you can downgrade Lingard. If you're not going to play him, don't. Like, Andreas and Nico, I kind of said this a couple of times before, but Nico Williams and Andreas more than cover your bench. I think you could take Lingard all the way down to a 4.5 and just stick him third on your bench. That gives you enough money to upgrade Son to a Salah, like a sensible young man, and upgrade Botman to Trippier. I think that gives you enough money. What's Lingard? 6? 6.5? What's Lingard's price? J-Links. 6. Okay, so if you take him down to, you free up 1.5 million. So yeah, that would be exactly right. You have exactly enough money to upgrade Son to Salah, like a sensible person, and upgrade Botman to Trippier. Martial is, like, if Ronaldo leaves, Martial is great. If Ronaldo stays at Man United, though, Martial is just an absolutely mudded pick, isn't it? Absolutely muddy pick, but it's you know, we've got Walker in there, we've got Martial. It's like a 7 out of 10. I'm sorry, Sky. I'm sorry. It's like a 6 out of 10. It's like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like, you could do better. I know you could do better than this. I know you're thinking outside the box, which I like, but we can do better. All right, I think we should. I know I said I was going to rate my own team, but I think we should actually. I think we should stick Mrs. FPL Mate's team in the. I think we should stick Mrs. FPL Mate's team in the old team rating tool. Let's remind ourselves who is actually in this team. All right, let's stick it in and see what. Let's see what it comes out with, and then I'll do mine. Then we'll do mine after, and then yeah, because I am actually really curious. But I want to see what Mrs. FPL Mate's got. So she's got Ramsdale, and who was her second goalkeeper again? I need to let's. I need to find the bit where it's showing the bench. There we go. It's Heaton. Oh, yeah, because she wanted to bring the heat. By the way, guys, go check out that. Like, genuinely, I'm sure a few people have already seen that video. Like, it's a really fun, laid-back video, and I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it. I'll try and remember some of her bench players, but I think she changed it a little bit. So, we've got Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk. Who else did she have? Thiago Silva for some reason. Cash. And who was the other defender? Was it Mings? Did she have Mings at some point, I think? It's like a bench player, isn't it? Creswell. Creswell for some reason. Like, imagine if this team returns with like a 99% rating or something. I'm gonna be so mudded, and we're all gonna bow down to Mrs. FPL Mate as an absolute certified FPL genius. But we know she had Son, she had Kane, she of course had Loftus-Cheek for some reason, she had Shrewsbury for some reason. I should have got the clown wig out for this video, honestly. Maybe next time. We've got Phil Foden. Force, who was on the bench. Watkins. And we're missing... And Saka, because he has got a cute head. Watkins and Saka, because he's got a cute little head. And that's Mrs. FPL Mate's team. All right. It's just... All right, before we move things around, it's a 66%, which is pretty tragic. But the great thing, another thing... I know I'm gassing up Fantasy Football Hub a lot in this video, and but it's genuinely good. Like I won't lie, a few different FPL related companies and websites kind of wanted to kind of do some kind of collaboration this season. But it was like, when Hub said, let's work together, use our stuff in streams and stuff, it was a no-brainer, because I use all their stuff anyway, and I just think they're the best in the business. So, they've got this optimize button. I don't know if you can see this at the bottom left. You could just click it, and it just, like, puts your team in the right order. It just gives you your perfect team. It's pretty wild, really. And I think that's actually what we ended up on anyway. Something like that, wasn't it? In the video. Yeah, we did. That's exactly right. Exactly right. So, yeah, the tool works. But that's up to 86%. Like, that's low-key okay. That's not bad. Like, you can't complain. Like, yes, there is some really, really outrageous picks in there. Shrewsbury Hall is okay, to be fair. Probably more of a bench option. Loftus-Cheek is just, like, I don't know. Creswell... It's a bit left field, but like I admire it. I admire the optimism there. It's got no Salah in it. It is at 86%. It's not bad. It's not bad. Right, whilst I'm putting in my own team, let's have a look at this super chat from Jandre Boats. Says, your valued opinion, and he's given me his team there. I'm looking at this team. I don't really like Odegaard, but aside from Odegaard, that team looks pretty good, my friend. Looks pretty good. All right, let's put my team in just to see. It's just to see how I'm kind of rating. Like I really, really hope I get a good one. I really hope I get a good rating. Please don't mud me. Please don't mud me. Fantasy Football Hub. Who have I got in goal at the moment? I think I've got Raya. I think I've got Olsen as my backup goalkeeper. Obviously got Trent. I've obviously got Diaz. I just switched Laporte to Diaz. The injury stuff, I've got Trips. Come on, Trippy. Yeah, come on, Trips. Got to have him. We've got Nico Williams on the bench. Who else is in my defence? I think it's Reece James, isn't it? Reece James. In my midfield, I have, obviously, Andreas on the bench. I've obviously got... was he Plange? Started again today. Was it today? I think. He started again for Crystal Palace. Like... he could be the underdog of the season. He could be the future star of FPL. I'm not even joking. Right, who else do I have in my midfield? Like, try and remember. Focus the brain. Focus the brain, Daniel. Who else did you pick? I actually can't remember. Maybe let's just look on my phone and then I can just copy it directly. Who did I pick? Maybe you guys can remember. Oh yeah, Diaz and Bailey. Bailey scored again today. He scored again. The man, he's crazy. Let's optimize. Let's optimize this. Bowen a bad pick. Like, keep talking. Keep talking. I'm a man of my differentials. I like to spice things up a little bit. Oh no, have I broken the tool? I think I've broken the tool by doing too many tabs. Oh dear. Okay. I might need to fix this. Can I refresh the page? I'm so sorry, I broke it. Right, let's try and optimize it. There we go. That's better. That's not my team. I actually have it like this. And you are here. So this is how I'm set up. Actually, I'm not. I'm Salah captain. So I'm on an 84%. Was that lower? Was that lower than Morgan's? I think that was lower than Morgan's. My team lower. We move. No, but this is my current draft. Like, I really like it. I really like my draft. Like, I know people are gonna say, you know, oh, you know, it's too many risky players. Like, why have you got Bowen in there, for example? Why have you got Bailey? Why have you got Trippier, etc., etc.? But it's only because they're different. Like, people are scared of different players. But like last season, like, I mean, obviously, I had a very good season, and I did that by going against the crowd a little bit and going with what I thought rather than what the world thinks, I guess. But anyway, yeah, Mrs. FPL Mate, she's mudded me. She's absolutely mudded me on the Fantasy Football Hub website. Maybe she should take over the channel. Like, I'm sure you guys will be more than happy. More than happy to do that. Josh says mine's 97% for Game Week 1. Remember, guys, the team rating is this is just a Game Week 1 team rating. Like, let's just clarify that. If we go to Game Week 2, I've got a lovely 74%. Now, like, this team will do fine. 75% in Game Week 3, 91% in Game Week 4. Like, come on, I'll have a few transfers by then as well, so we'll be all over the place. We'll be absolutely killing it. Probably a few switches around as well. I may like put Andreas or Nico Williams in some of these game weeks, but yeah, it's pretty good. Right, guys, I'm gonna end it here because we've been going just over an hour. We've rated a lot of teams. I'm gonna do this more because I know a lot of you guys have missed out here. Like there was a lot of people who've wanted their drafts. Don't get me wrong, but I want to rate everyone's team. I want to get through everyone's. I know that's probably not going to be possible, but I want to try and do that. So, well, let's do some more streams. Let's do some more rate my team drafts. Some people saying they've got their team up to 97, 98%. Yeah, I mean, we'll try and have a look at some of your guys. If some of you guys are like close to 100%, I feel like we need to have a look at your teams. But we'll do that next stream. We'll keep using this tool because I think I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this is a pretty fun addition to the rate my team thing. It allows us to switch things about a little bit. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, link in the description if you want to go check out Fantasy Football Hub and all of their plethora of tools. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching once again. Appreciate you guys. Plenty more videos. I've got to go record another video now for tomorrow morning. And yeah, I'll see you later, mates. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.